Okay, we all know there's loads of room in the Kuga PHEV. Wonderful car, this is the ST line. Did you know there's enough room in the back for a dinosaur? There you go, you're famous. Hello folks, we're going to have a little walk around this Kuga in a moment. That's what I did there. It's a Kuga PHEV ST line. Has done 7,000 odd miles.
7,000 miles, yeah, that's correct.
We've got it offered for sale at, I think it's 33,000, is that not right?
33,995.
33,995, there we go, which is considerably less than a brand new one. And if you could wait for a brand new one, obviously you could have this one immediately. Anyway, Jacob, let's talk more about the car. What can you tell us?
Well, it's a Kuga ST line, and the biggest thing about this car is it's a plug-in hybrid. So it has the ability to drive up to 35 miles on electric range.
You can plug it in at home for a 13 amp plug, the 3-pin you've got at home. Take about 6 hours to charge to full capacity. Also, when you're driving the car, normally it will be charging its battery as it's using the petrol engine to drive along. It's smart. It will know whether to drive as electric or petrol according to the conditions and how much charge it's got in the battery and where you're driving it. You've got 4 driving modes on the car. You've got the automatic mode where it chooses whether it wants to drive on electric or internal combustion engine. You've got EV now where it drives along on electric. So if you're in a low emission zone, that's very good news. The third mode is electric later, EV later, whereby you'll drive along on petrol and it will save up the battery for when you need it. And the fourth and final mode, it's interesting this, isn't it? The fourth and final mode is for the engine to charge the battery. So you charge along, putting charge into your battery, ready for a low emissions zone later on in your journey. So it's really clever stuff. Tell us a bit more about the specification on this one, Jacob.
Now this car had 2 factory fitted options when it was brand new. So technology pack, now that consists of full LED headlights and heads-up display. So inside the car on the dashboard, as you can see, a little piece of glass comes up and it projects the speed limit onto the dash. And in addition to that, it's also got the winter pack, so it's got heated passenger and driver seat and heated rear seats on both outer edges, as well as a heated steering wheel.
We love the heated steering wheel, really good.
And obviously in addition to that, it's got all the things that it has as standard, so Sync 3 navigation system, quick clear front windscreen. I think the main thing about this car, as James has already spoken about, is the plug-in hybrid side of things.
Right, okay, we're going to have a little walk around to this side of the car. I want to show you a couple of interesting things. Okay, here we are. On the Kuga plug-in hybrid, you've got 2 flaps on the left-hand side. The one in the front wing is a charging point, and the one on the rear wing is for refueling with petrol. There's a button up by the headlight controls that you press to release this one, and then there you go, glug, 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 put your fuel in. Jacob, you can do the front one.
Okay, so within the charging port, should we say, you get 1 cable with the car, which has on one end obviously the side to go in here, and the other end which is a 3-pin plug socket, so like you'd just plug your toaster in at home. They advise not putting it in an extension lead, so as long as it goes straight into the mains in your house, plug it into here. The car will then take roughly, give or take, about 6.5 hours to charge to full, and that will give you 35 miles of electric range. That does vary a little bit depending on the time of the year, so in the winter it's generally a little bit less, in the summer a little bit more. The batteries do like to be kept at a warmer temperature. And you've got 2 buttons on the side of the port, one which you can, in your Ford Pass app, you can program the charging time, so if you have the lower rate energy tariff at home, so you could charge it between the hours of 12 and 6 overnight, for example. If you program that in your app, you press the charging sign when you plug the cable in, and it will go to default and just charge within those times you've set. The one on the right hand side is to unlock it, so when you plug the cable in, the little pin drops down into the socket to stop anybody from taking it out. So if you're in the public domain, you've plugged your car and you've locked it, you've walked away, nobody will be able to take it out, even if they press the unlock button, because the car is locked. You've got to have the key with you, unlock the car, press the unlock button, and then it will release the cable for you to take out.
Yes, indeed.
And that simply just shuts.
Easy,
like
easy done. There is a fast charge cable available as well, which will plug into a public charging point or fast charger, or if you've got a wall box at home. The cost is around £300. That would take about 3 hours to give maximum capacity to the car. Do you fancy getting in here? Come on then. This is artistic types, isn't it? Not us actors, we know what we're doing. Oh, anyway, yeah, sorry, I forgot we were being recorded. Well, there's loads of room for everybody in here, especially the most important passenger. I can't adjust the seat so she can drive, but maybe that's what Ford are coming up with on the next one. You never know. The nice thing about Ford's interiors now is they're completely vegan. They don't harm any animals to make the seat. Although it may look like leather, it is a leather substitute, which is so good you wouldn't know it wasn't leather. Same as the suede that you sit on is actually Alcantara. It's man-made suede, so it is very kind for all the creatures on the planet, including yourself, eh, madam?